The Spartans said they would flinch, and they did.
And welcome to another episode of the SD4L show. I'm Justin Finn. I'm here with my co-host Max Shan.
What up?
For the last time in the studio at WoodwardSports, we bring you the SD4L show. How are you doing today, man?
I'm okay. No, who am I kidding? I'm doing awesome. Recruiting has certainly picked up over the last weekend, and, well, as we always say, there's never a cloudy day in East Lansing. So, Justin, thrilled to be joined by you. Really quick, I'm going to ask a new question here to start off.
Yes.
Best thing that happened to you this week?
Positive momentum for the team that I cover on
go.
the subject matter that I cover.
Are the message boards happier?
No. Maybe.
That was a quick one. Okay.
Yeah,
that was a
possibly.
little quick. Okay.
Just takes one decommitment for program to be scrapped status, Matt.
I might be part of that problem, actually. But, hey, that's neither here nor there. Look, hey, as long as you're somewhat barely happier, then that makes me even happier. Great to see you again, Justin.
Yes.
Yes, for the last time here at the Woodward Sports Studio. Thank you, Woodward Sports, in advance for everything you guys have done in the last few years. Or, in my case, just last few months, because I'm still kind of new-ish here at this chair. But you've been here for ever.
I think
Since the Obama administration.
14 months, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, 13, 14 months.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been good.
There we go.
Been enjoyed this backdrop, and it's been a good run. Yeah, and producing for us
throughout
this entire stretch, we have Owen
Show yourself.
Osust.
Show yourself.
And there he is
Nice hoodie. Wow.
in the actual booth today. How you doing today, Owen?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Good.
Peachy.
Good.
Sensational.
Got you back in the facility.
If you guys weren't doing great, would you tell me?
No, probably not.
No.
Well, I pretty much still.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I have to keep this up. I got to say I'm doing great, even if I'm
Yeah.
not. So, yeah, it's part of my contract. I have to
I see.
go along with it, So.
I didn't know we had contracts. If that's the case,
We
then-
don't.
Oh, I had my lawyer
I can
present and
inform you
everything.
we don't.
You didn't? No? Oh, I was wondering why you were absent for that meeting. Okay.
Yeah, that guy took all your retainer money for no reason, Matt.
I actually have to pay to do this show, crazy enough. I don't know what deal I worked out,
It's
but
like
yeah.
it's like AYSO. You got to pay
Yes.
to show up and be part of the team. So
You're right. Yep.
But yeah, it's been a good run. We'll dive into the recruiting
get
news
into
right
it?
now. Yeah.
Just a little bit. All right. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
New additions, Matt. A few of them this week. We'll start with the highest ranked of the bunch. Scoota Carrie.
Scoota.
Anthony Scoota Carrie from Carrollwood, Florida. Same high school as Eddie Pleasant.
Sure.
And former Michigan State one-time commit. I believe now Auburn. Signee, enrollee, Clay Whedon.
Oh, that's right. Wow. Friend of the Michigan State interior offensive line legend, Clay Whedon. That's right. Wow.
MSU recruiting product.
Nice callback.
Yes. And Verdell Richardson, who seems like a wide receiver target for Michigan State this cycle. We'll see if he takes a visit here. But
Yeah.
seems to be
we know his name.
Yeah, seems to be a good area to recruit from.
Yep.
But yeah, Scoota Carrie had offers from Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, every single program that you can probably think of, and had a great sophomore season. That's when he got all those offers. I think he was battling through either a hamstring or a calf or an ankle. It's like something that wasn't serious, but he was a step slow in some of the highlights in the junior season tape. And now this upcoming season is going to be healthy. He's going to be looking like his sophomore self again. Michigan State got a steal here on a kid that maybe Alabama and Georgia's of the world might have been overreactive to on just a tiny little flare-up of some small injury. But hey, if they choose to do that, which I'm sure they have the luxury of doing, Michigan State will happily oblige them.
I gotta say, hold the phone. Like, step slow. His junior highlight tape. His junior highlight tape looks fine to me.
Oh, it does. It really does.
Especially like those first few steps. Like, I don't know if you want to keep going about Scoota Carrie, but I'm just gonna hijack the
of
show
course
and
we
just
do.
keep going. But like, man, what sticks out to me, something that's gonna carry over to the college game, is two things. His open field vision and speed. Like, once he gets to that second level of linebackers, God help you if you're a safety.
Right.
Sayonara, you're going to be in a lot of highlight tapes for the wrong reasons if you're up there. But, yeah, when he gets to that second level, third level, his vision of the field and ability to cut I mean, yeah, there's a reason that some recruiting sites have him ranked as a top 10 running back in the country.
Yeah.
The other thing is the first 2 steps he takes when he gets the ball. That is explosiveness.
Yes. Never wasted.
Dude, he's already on his second step before the defensive lineman, for example, or the linebacker, should it be a zone run, is even thinking of shutting off their block.
Yep.
Like, he is already 2 steps ahead of the defense when he gets the ball. The third thing that I'm really looking forward to seeing how it translates to the college game. Because, look, when you're an amazing prospect, when you're a top 200 prospect, a great running back, you can get away with just running around those defensive ends trying to contain you.
Right.
Or, God help you, if it's a safety coming down too that's also trying to help contain, you can just use your athleticism because, well, you're the one of the most athletic people in the entire country. Might be a little harder in college, but then again, like, could he do it by like his sophomore or junior year once he gets the college game under his belt, starts to get more comfortable? Like, there's a lot of things I like about Scoota Carrie's game. I mean, they don't rate these kids 4 stars for no reason, and all the reasons that he is named a 4-star, I love it. You gotta love it.
Yeah, for sure. And I should clarify, step slower in his junior tape was relative to his sophomore tape. It was not relative to the industry or the class as a whole. Junior tape was still phenomenal, still really, really good. If you played it side by side with a sophomore tape, a very trained eye, maybe a college running backs coach might be able to discern a little difference there. But again, very minor injury. Like, it wasn't even like something that he had to set out for. And again, he chose not to, and that's why maybe it hampered him a little bit. But that's for those that are wondering out there, why did it come down to Michigan State and North Carolina and not like Michigan State and Georgia or something like that? That was clarity, context there of why that may be the case.
For sure.
But like I said, Michigan State, happy to oblige anyone that has the luxury of maybe just going and getting whoever the hottest name on the market is, like a Georgia.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna be a very good prospect for Michigan State.
And for like the sick Michigan State fans online, like I know a lot of people viewing are some of these people. This is a kid's name that's been around for almost 2 years now. Like, he was in Michigan State recruiting circles since his sophomore season.
Spaces even.
Of course. Like, God, you talk about getting really into the weeds of recruiting. Like, Scoota Carrie, like, he has been around, and usually, like, it seems like, okay, well, hey, if Michigan State has an early lead, they'll flame out.
Yeah,
they'll pick a different school. Not this kid though.
He spoke in an MSU Twitter space for 2 minutes, like 18 months ago, about why he likes Michigan State. Yeah. And then I know he had that thing where he tweeted out, MSU fans, if you follow my Instagram, I'll have great news. And then the great news was just he had a good visit, and people were like frustrated. But like, I think he redeemed himself. I think Michigan State fans have forgiven that and are fully enthusiastic of him joining the program.
No doubt. Not the only kids, though, to commit to your Michigan State Spartans, everyone. That's right. Who's going to say the last name first? Me or you?
You. I already know how to say it.
I got this. All right, here we go. Charlton and Mercer Lunieski.
Yes.
Nailed it. Let's go. There we go.
Yes.
A lot of beef added to this already impressive string of offensive line recruits for Coach Kapilovic. Hey, guess what? We got some brothers out of the state of Ohio. We talked about this last week, but I'll still say it again. Like, oh, geez, when has that ever worked at Michigan State? Brothers from Ohio. I don't know. Just ask the Slades, ask the Dowells. It seemed to work out okay over here. But, yeah, I mean, it is an incredible run for Coach Kapilovic. Not only is he getting the offensive lineman that he wants.
Yep.
And that's the thing that I love emphasizing.
Yes.
This isn't, oh, my God, we're in November. I only have one kid on my board.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus, who's still out there? Who can we flip? Like, no. These are the priority kids for Coach Cap.
Right.
The kids that he wants.
Yes.
They had 6 offensive linemen on official visits in the month of June. Mm-hmm. They've got commitments from 4 of them.
Yep.
All right. The 5th one, Nathan Roy commits to Minnesota. The 6th one, DeAndre Carter. Mm-hmm. Still in play.
Yes.
So no, it's not a thing where, like, you know what, like, you know what happened last year a lot, and not just with offensive linemen, like across the board. You run through June.
Right.
Oh my God. No one committed. No one's really interested. Holy bleep. It's November. We got to try to flip some kids, shouldn't we? It's not that situation. They are building the foundation with the strong offensive line class.
Yes.
You already have Andrew Dennis. You already have Logan Bennett. 2 guys that are already college-made bodies. And, hey, borrowing something from our chat very recently with Coach Kapilovic here, offensive line recruiting is very tough because you don't know how they're going to respond when they add the muscle, add the weight. Hey, what's a good shortcut around that? Just get kids that already have the weight on them.
100%.
It's great.
The number one thing that I wish fans understood about recruiting, it's stars do matter, but context matters more. Stars do not tell the whole story in terms of, for example, Logan Bennett.
Yeah.
6'6", 300 pounds, plays a national schedule in Baltimore, St. Francis. He has the tape that is of a 4-star kid.
Yep.
Now, what would have happened had he not committed to Michigan State is he would have gone on the camp circuit, all the schools down south, the Auburns, the Ole Misses, maybe Alabama, Georgia. He would have gone on those camps. He would have picked up a ton of SEC offers. Then people would have seen that. Evaluators would have seen that and gone, oh, okay, let's watch this tape again with that scope. Suddenly, he's a 4-star right about now. So it's all subjected to the timeline, when a kid commits, and things of that nature. The other thing is stars matter more for certain positions than others. Quarterback, maybe cornerback, maybe even edge rusher, even though it's in the trenches. But I would say usually the further away you get from the ball, the easier it is to have a higher accuracy on your evaluations.
Yes.
Because size and body maturity matter more when you're playing in the trenches. And with an offensive lineman, other than that 5-star kid, like a Samson Okunlola type, other than that tier of kid, everything beyond that, it doesn't really matter. It's negligible. A kid that's ranked 250th versus a kid that's ranked 370th versus a kid that's ranked 511th. I'm saying whoever the coach likes more, you ride with that evaluation if you trust the coach, obviously.
Well, yeah, like call me crazy for trusting Coach Kapilovic here.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And moreover than that, if you have Braden Miller in your program, if you're Coach Cap, if you have Braden Miller in your program, you have Ashton Lepo, and these guys that you took big swings on, Big Dooley, Chris Phillips, these guys that were outside of the top 900, and in the 12-plus months they've been in the program, they have been even better than you yourself as Coach Cap thought they would be. You feel even more empowered and confident to then go ahead and say, I'm taking Logan Bennett and Andrew Dennis while they're 87 rated or below. And a little teaser here. Tomorrow, there's a 24/7 rankings update coming out.
Oh.
Andrew Dennis. Coach Cap has been vindicated.
Stock going up?
Going way up.
I like that. That's a nice little teaser.
So, again, like stars matter. You're not going to win the national title without highly ranked kids.
Sure.
But it's not just about what star ranking they have in June. And some kids, they might never get a bump. Like Logan Bennett's never going to go on those SEC camps. He's probably never going to move up to a 4-star.
Sure.
But I don't care. And I especially don't care at offensive line, where it doesn't really matter unless you're a blue chip elite kid.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't mean to sound like I'm talking out both sides of my mouth because, yes, like stars do matter. Like the first 3 offensive tackles off the board in the NFL draft this year, 4 or 5 stars. Okay, okay, you can hit at a very high success rate with your 5 stars or your 4 stars. But the other side is that there are more diamonds in the rough at offensive line than there are any other position. Last year, against all Big Ten teams, the first team, second team, third team, there was 16 offensive linemen. Okay, 2 of them former 5 stars, 4 of them former 4 stars. 10 of the 16 were either 3 stars or completely unranked, not even ranked. Because, it's the whole thing that Coach Cap talked about a few weeks ago on this show.
Right.
You don't know how they're going to respond when they get into a college weight regiment. Oh, great. You come in at 6'5", 260. Okay, how are you going to move when you're 6'5", 280?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I'll say it again. Everyone take a drink if you're playing the SD4L dream game at home of me repeating stuff in the same episode.
Yeah.
Just get the kids with the body frame already, and it seems to work out. And again, if you're going to trust any assistant coach on this staff with their talent evaluation and what they could do to develop kids, call me nuts for coaching for trusting Coach Cap and all that. Yeah,
I would agree. And then also the 4th and final pickup of since last episode, Syer Torrance. Matt, what have I been saying about Syer Torrance for about 2-3 months now?
Yeah, you talk about diamond in the rough. Basically, that upstate New York. Look, you talk about a place that's not really richly recruited or highly ranked or anything like that, but Jim Salgado, within about 16 minutes of him having the job at Michigan State, saw this kid, and you've been on the Syer Torrance train. God, almost 30 seconds after Jim Salgado jumped on it. You've been on him from the start.
Turn that tape on,
off camera when you talk about him.
Yes.
You're very high in this kid.
To you, on a random Tuesday in May.
I'm not lying. I've been hearing about Syer Torrance for a long time from Justin.
Yes. Yeah. I probably talked about Syer Torrance 80 times more than I've talked about David Stone. And
that's not a joke
yeah.
either. That is not a joke.
Right.
Yes.
And great point about upstate New York. The other thing, it grew up blocks from Syracuse University.
Okay.
So when he committed to Syracuse, all the programs were like, well, hometown kid. He's not generational, so he's not like a 5-star looking to go to Alabama.
Right.
So he's in that tier right below that, and you're thinking like, all right, he's probably going to stay home. Most coaches probably saw him as a little better than what he was ranked, but even then they're thinking like, yeah, probably not going to be able to flip him. He actually wasn't even receptive to some of the other schools that offered and tried to get him to come up for visits, like Pitt, for example. Boston College also got involved there, but like quickly they kind of realized, hey, it's probably not going to be a kid we can land. He committed to Michigan State within 24 hours after his Boston College visit, for example.
Right.
So it was basically just he was going to go back to Syracuse even after he flipped, or he was going to go to Michigan State. And the reason Michigan State had that kind of special kind of exception in his mind, Jim Salgado's time with the Buffalo Bills in that home state for Sire Torrance, working with Micah Hyde, working with Jordan Poyer, working with Tre'Davious White. And that makes a difference. And also the fact that he was kind of the first coach to believe in Sire other than the Syracuse staff. So just a great job there. When fans watch his tape, look at what he does as a receiver. He's not going to play receiver at Michigan State. Look at what he does as a receiver, and that speaks to his athleticism and fluidity. Then go ahead and you watch how he hits on defense and just how explosive he is at going after people with the ball. And all the tools, they come together.
No, absolutely. And again, I can't say it enough. Justin really has been on this kid since day one. We're not doing like window dressing, putting up a facade. Like, no, this is a 3-star that JT is very sky high on right here. I've got a lot of other things about this last official visit weekend that I just want to pepper you on right now.
Let's dive into the whole weekend now. We're
going to start with something that's very topical because Saturday, Justin Denson. He's going to decide a college here. It's between Oklahoma. He's got an Alabama offer. That seems pretty nice. But, hey, you know what? Let's say he picks Michigan State. What do you know about Justin Denson, this recruitment, what kind of kid he is? I mean, basically the floor is yours.
So Justin Denson, just a great offer sheet. Great offer sheet. As you said, Alabama offer. We are looking at a kid that has a lot of offers all over the country. And Oklahoma really wants him. Their insiders have been saying for a few weeks now that he is definitely a priority for them. And they thought they did a good job on his official visit this past weekend. But it seems like Michigan State also did a great job. And right now, based on what we've heard right now, I think Michigan State is the team to beat there. Still probably a couple days for Oklahoma to try to sway him. I don't think Alabama will be trying to sway him, but I think Oklahoma's there and they're fighting until the end. So Michigan State or Oklahoma, and right now my money's on Michigan State there for the Rhode Island product.
There we go. And that's going to bring us up to how many commits for this class, by the way, Justin? Should he commit on Saturday?
So the question, Matt, there is, would somebody commit before that?
Good question.
The breaking news air horn right there. Do you want to sprinkle a name out there or some initials or any other vague hints?
The quarterback that preceded Seneca Wallace in Seattle might be his dad. I don't know if he preceded Seneca Wallace.
Dual sport athlete, if anyone was confused about what I was doing here.
If
you're listening to the podcast, you have no idea what I'm doing.
I thought you were doing like a violin or something.
That's a lacrosse stick.
I see. Okay. He might be deciding here in the next few days is what I heard. Definitely we're looking at days. We're not looking at hours, I don't think. I don't think he's committing tonight. Okay. Not looking at weeks either. So looking at days, not hours or weeks. So it's possible, I guess. I shouldn't say it's guaranteed, but you could be looking at 2 more kids entering the fold on top of the 9 right now. So by July 1st, the class could be at 11 if things trend the way that we kind of think they will right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question here a little bit. MSU will have blank commits in its class by August 1st. But please don't answer that right now. That's called a cliffhanger, a teaser, if you will, on this very professional podcast.
At least 9, Matt. But we'll get to it later.
Okay, that's good. Then no one's decommitting by here at August 1st. That's very good to know. 2 kids from the West Coast that I'm just fascinated to know your insight on. Jason Brown, top 100 running back from the Seattle area, and then DeAndre Carter, Southern California kid, top 150 offensive lineman. We talked last week. DeAndre Carter is USC's battle to lose. The Jason Brown thing very interesting, though, because we were his only official visit. Both those West Coast kids, Is the dream alive for one, if not both of these kids right now, Justin?
I
Shoot me straight.
do not believe that DeAndre Carter is USC's to lose any longer. I believe now it is wide open, actually, between Michigan State, Texas, and Auburn.
Oh, heavens.
It appears that USC,
We're so back.
who
We're so
has
back.
hosted him on many official visits, unofficial visits,
Officials, who cares?
have tried to land him several times.
Yeah.
But he is kind of determined to be diligent, to do his due diligence, to be methodical. He's not rushing into any decision just because USC is close by.
Sure.
As a result of that, USC has taken a few other interior offensive linemen. And I believe they have decided kind of that, hey, we definitely want him. We'll definitely still take him.
Yeah.
But they're no longer saving a spot in their class for him. And that only helps Michigan State. And they're still firmly in the mix. But I believe now
Sure.
they have fallen into the backdrop a little bit. And it's going to be between Texas, who he's supposed to visit in the fall, Auburn, who we visited the weekend before Michigan State, and Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of Jason Brown, Carter and Brown, now they don't know each other very well, I don't think. They're from opposite sides of that West Coast.
Yeah.
But I believe they got to know each other very well this past weekend in East Lansing. Talked here and there about playing together. I know package deals don't really work, even when kids have known each other for years, and let alone this.
Of course.
If you're a running back, it actually does matter a lot when you hear a top 100 guard might be blocking for me if I choose to go here. And speaking more on Jason Brown, seems like he's trending towards Michigan State. I know myself and Corey Robinson, we put those picks in, and we don't put them in lightly. If a decision were to come today, we believe it would be Michigan State unequivocally. Decision is not coming today. No silent verbal has been given. Decision might not come until August. So whether or not Michigan State holds on, we will all find out together. But I do think that Michigan State has a notable and tangible lead for a top 100 running back from the Pacific Northwest.
That's not how I thought that would go. That's very exciting, though. It turns out when you have a dynamic running back by the name of Kenneth Walker and you ship him out to the hometown NFL team of Jason Brown, well, guess what? The top 100 running back is going to take note of that. God, that's sensational. DeAndre Carter just really wants to play in the Eastern time zone, it sounds like. Good for him. I get it. I'd be sick of those 9 a.m. games, too, if I were him. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Sorry, got to fan myself off there for a little bit here. Justin, I got a loaded question here.
Yes.
June. It's over.
The month before July. The month after May.
It can confirm month before July. That is true. Was it a success for Michigan State, you think?
I believe so.
Okay.
Actually, no. I didn't see any Lamborghinis or Ferraris. But
very good point.
Besides that,
Yeah.
I think they did as well as they possibly could. We were sitting here talking just 4 weeks ago, Matt. Will they hit 10 commits by September?
There was many people in the studio as there were in the 2024 class, and I'm going to let everyone know here. There's 3 people in the studio right now. Things were looking bleak with a capital B to start the month.
I believe we did a segment back at the last week of May.
Okay.
It was something along the lines of "Tell me something positive."
Yeah.
I had said in that segment that just let's wait for June. People on the message boards, people on Twitter.
How were they? Yeah.
People in the live comments.
Yeah, sorry.
Actually, I have no idea. I've never looked at the live comments.
A lot of Michigan fans, but that's okay.
Yeah, thanks for keeping the show going. So we had every single angle that you can see. Everyone was saying, doesn't matter if it's only June, because there's still only 3 commits. There's no juice. I ask you. And
I'll answer you. Yeah.
I asked you then. Why would there be juice at that point? Because all the recruits had seen up until that point was 5 and 7, and at most 1 day with the coaches on unofficial visits.
Yeah.
The program needed to spend 2-3 days with these kids.
Yep.
Really show them what the family culture that Mel Tucker and the staff are all about. That can't happen until official visits. So in order to overcome the 5 and 7 season, you can't really do it January through May. It can only be done mostly in June. Mm-hmm. So all they had to do to set themselves up at that point was don't take someone you don't believe in, which they didn't, and make sure you have feasible targets visiting that you think you can land. And we're talking here about how they might have 11 by July 1st. So I don't know what the hit rate's going to end up calculating out to, but I think if you can land 8 targets in a given June, I think that's a pretty good job. And that's not even counting after July 1st if a Nick Marsh or a Jason Brown or a DeAndre Carter decide during the summer, which I would still attribute to being successful official visits if that happens now. So, sure, it didn't look that great back then. There were some other hits to the program, like Keon Coleman leaving, BT Jordan leaving. I think a lot of anything else beyond that, I think anyone that was freaking out over this stuff, I really didn't agree with. But there were a couple of those hits and a lack of commits, but I don't really see how people were not expecting it to be any different than how May and April and March and all those months were. But this is kind of what I thought June would be. Now, I didn't think they would get Reggie Powers. I thought he was going to go to Ohio State.
Sure.
I didn't think they were going to make as much inroads with Kamar Mathuti or Dylan Williams. I didn't think it was going to go this well. But I thought, yeah, they're going to get their numbers up in June, and that's what they've done. And I think as a result, the answer to your question is it was successful.
So right now at 24/7 Sports, Michigan State in the Big Ten, 14th ranked overall class. And this is something I noticed that you guys have done very recently. This is including USC and UCLA because, well, they're going to be part of the conference in 2024. So that's a sad number. However, one of my favorite things to look at when it comes to recruiting rankings is the average ranking. Because, of course, with all sites, it's some combination of the amount of kids, the stars they are. There's some formula that's way over my head that I'm never going to even try to learn to understand. But the average recruit ranking, Michigan State right now, 6th. Okay, so not like just on the right side of being in the middle of the Big Ten. So they only have 9 commits right now, but the average of those kids is in the upper half of the Big Ten. And again, just like you just said, off a 5-7 season too. That's not too shabby.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see the light here at the end of June.
And you know what happens, Matt, when you have a decent ranking and a lot of room, you have a solid foundation that a new recruiting and scouting department has 6 months now to backfill with targets for the rest of this cycle and get them up in the fall where kids have unlimited official visits now. You have a program that could possibly surpass expectations. Vegas win-loss over-under, I believe, is 5.5.
5.5.
So you have a chance here. Mark Dethorne is assembling a great staff.
Yep.
He's going to continue assembling a great staff as he's not done yet. And he has hired Jenna Learn, Tyler Johnson, to be directors of recruiting. Tyler is director of director of recruiting operations.
Yep.
Jenna is director of on-campus recruiting. You're going to have a great opportunity now to load up the recruiting board, unlike it has been in the past few months. Darius Hicks, you have as director of scouting now.
Yep.
I believe at least one more hire will be made, if not more.
Okay.
Sean Levy's still here.
Sure is.
It's gonna be a nice looking recruiting department, Matt, and especially in the portal. You know how it gets in December, how it gets in January. The opportunity here is endless.
Spicy.
To use these slots they have. Also, don't forget they're taking about 29 official visits into this second half of the recruiting calendar.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. So
That's healthy.
Again, it's setting up very well. I'm excited to see what all the new hires do.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say is Mark, the guys he got hired at Virginia Tech, the guys and the ladies that he had over there, they all got promoted either to director of titles or they're in the league. And
That plays.
Yeah.
That plays.
Yeah. I had a chance to talk to him during the camps in June. Seems like a great guy. You can tell why people want to come work for him and why they speak highly of him afterwards and articles for The Athletic on his background and stuff like that. And going to be great. Going to be great to see what these guys can do here in the next 6 months.
There we go. We should try to get on the show one day.
Good idea.
Pick his brain.
Yeah.
Force him to land David Stone.
On air. As
he's
a recruiting violation, which you can't talk about.
That's the commitment right there. It's just Mark Dethorne coming on the show and saying, we got him. That's all it is. I like that. All right, there we go.
Is it time, Matt?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Yeah, it is. It is. 2 are facts, 1 is whack. Folks, that's right. Give it up. Producer Owen with a standing ovation while sitting down.
Owen helping me out this time around. Okay. Well, I guess it won't be helping me out. It'll be a competitor.
We'll work together, yeah.
He's going to celebrity shot this.
Let's work together.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe in you
We'll
guys.
end up with the same one.
We will have a unanimous decision amongst the both of us.
Maybe.
It's our last day here in the Woodward Sports Studio. So that's our theme here.
you
Shows that we've
sad?
done inside the Woodward Sports Studio. Now, again, I'm a newbie. I barely know what I'm doing. I joined in January, so it's going to be from episodes from the time I joined the second week of January.
But you also guest starred in like.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
You were with Brian for a few episodes.
You guest starred, he said.
I did. Yeah, I was fake Brian. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Two are facts, one is whack. I'm going to have 3 statements. 2 are facts, 1 is whacktual. All right. Are you guys ready to play 2 are facts, 1 is whack? The theme is our shows in the last 6 months here.
Oh, it's about the shows?
Yes, that's
It may
what
or may
he said a
not be.
minute ago.
So if you're a loyal listener, which Wolverine Nation
I'm
stand up,
excited.
this is going to be your time to shine here because you guys never miss an episode. All right. Are you ready to play?
I'm ready.
Justin, what's your record, by the way?
7-14, I believe, Matt.
Statement number 1.
was
Your 2 are facts, 1 is whack record, as it stands right now, is worse than Michigan's bowl record in the last 21 outings
Wow.
for the Wolverines.
That is.
Let me say that again.
Right there.
Your 2 are facts, 1 is whack record, as it stands right now, is worse.
False. That's
Then-
the false one. I don't need to hear the other two.
Wow, we're coming in hot here. Second one. The Katenhauser interview episode was our most viewed show since January. The Katenhauser interview show was our most viewed show since January. Statement number 3. John Borovich was our longest interview by minutes. Of course, the
You're talking about
recruiting
from
guy over
start
Michigan
to
State basketball.
finish.
Yeah, duration of him being on the.
Okay.
Yep,
on the
duration of him being on. Like, who did we hold hostage on here the longest in our player or coach interviews?
a long
John
one.
Borovich was
That
our
was-
longest
Yeah, it
interview.
has
I
to be
remember that
JB.
one. That
has
was a
to
long
be.
one.
That was such a fascinating interview too.
I loved
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it has to be the first one.
Probably is, but how confident are you?
I'm very confident.
Wow, VC, very confident.
I think he's trying to hide. He's trying to smile. He's trying to hide a smile right now.
Maybe. Yeah, it might be like Michigan's
Yeah.
like not 7-14. They might be like 8-13, and yeah.
Are we doing like record like wins wise? Are we talking like just total percentage win?
I mean, he's the last
Okay,
21
so
outings,
we've
so
done
it's the same.
21 of these, so it's the last 21 Michigan bowl games. Yeah.
Oh, and it's got to be that one.
7-14 is
It
a
has to be.
brutal record, by the
Because
way.
it makes sense
Well,
that the
okay.
Caton one is the most viewed episode. It makes sense that John
I mean,
was
Coach
the longest.
Cap had a lot though too. But
Sure did.
Do you remember how much Caden had?
I do not even close. I don't think I've ever checked the views on a single one of
Cap
these.
was a lot though. I do remember that. I don't know specifically, but I guess we'll go number 1 then.
Yeah, locking it in.
Your record is now better
Wow.
than Michigan's bowl record in the last 21 games, win percentage-wise. So, your 2 are facts, 1 is whack record as it stands right now is worse than Michigan's bowl record in the last 21 outings. No, that's not true, actually. You guys are both the same, actually, before this episode started. You were both 7-14 in your last 21 attempts to do something right. Except Michigan just plays one opponent. In 2 are facts, 1 is whack. You're kind of playing against
Right.
2 or 3 opponents,
Right.
if you will. So we're going to skew the numbers to your favor right there, Justin.
Excellent.
The Katenhauser interview was definitely our most viewed show. The Coach Kaplan was very close. No doubt about that.
that's what I thought.
That was very close. And
Is
then
that second? Is that number 2?
you see,
Do you know-
if I was good at this, I would have written this down as to who was
mind
second. But no, I'm not. Obviously, like on the podium, I think in the top 3 was the Odell Brenham
Yeah,
episode.
it
Like
was.
that one was popping.
Yeah.
That was a
The
good
goat.
one.
Yeah.
Yep. The Jackson Kohler one I think did really well. The Carson Cooper one, but anyway, the John Borovich interview was our longest interview. We held that man hostage for about 21 minutes. Coach Cap got close. He got very close.
Was
and
he second, or was it like?
Ma-
I
Did
believe
you check
he was
every
second.
interview? Did you check each one?
I did check each one. Yeah. Now, did I write them down? No. I checked the Borovich one. I was like, all right, is anyone going to beat 21 minutes and 30 seconds? And then like, no.
Yeah.
No, it did. Coach Cap was close.
Okay.
Both the Kohler and Cooper interviews were close. Tyrell Henry was actually up there as well.
Okay.
That might be my favorite one that we've done.
Yeah.
What's the longest episode? Do you know that one?
I see. No, I did not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to
Owen's
say.
just putting Matt on the spot to say, I don't know. That's not what a producer's
I mean,
supposed to
Alvin
do.
is a
every time I
fraud
was trying
right
to go
now,
to
yeah.
Mug Night, every time I was like, well, let's go to Mug Night after this episode. episode, it would be like, let's go into every conspiracy theory I possibly could.
We should ask you. Yeah, what was our longest episode? Oh, it's probably the one that you wanted us to end the soonest.
March.
So,
it had to be. I feel like it was a March.
Probably.
Because you guys
had
would
to have been
like a
March.
March Madness tangent.
Yes, 100%.
Everything like that.
yeah.
And then you'd be like conspiracies.
Yeah, the
and
Chinese
you'd be like,
basketball match fixing, the Roger Clemens PED use episode.
That one was long, and I'm like, dude, I got my mug in hand, and I'm waiting for you guys to finish.
Right. Owen's whole crew's already at Luha's. We're just letting this guy sweat.
They've already gone through 2 bags of shoestring fries.
Yeah, poor guy. No, sorry, but thank you. The Big Dooley episode was an hour and 8 minutes. So Big Dooley interview, Jalen Sami committed, and then just like talking recruiting. I mean, it's And I'm pretty sure before that episode we said, all right, it'll be a short show today.
Yeah,
that's always how it works out.
This is going to be the longest episode. The rumor has it.
Is that true?
Well, I ain't leaving until it's Friday at 6 a.m. Like we're doing a radiothon right now.
Yeah.
I'm in the office tomorrow. You guys are on your own.
Where are you? I don't know.
Woodward, rumor is Woodward's not going to stop the show. We're just going to keep alternating in people.
Is that right?
SD4L,
I see.
We're just gonna keep pushing. Yeah. That's right. So our Tour Facts 1 is whack. Yeah, 8 and 14 in the Woodward studio.
Yeah, 8 and
That's
14
strong.
in the Woodward studio.
That's drawn.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that,
No.
Justin? Okay.
No. But I'm happier than if I was 7 and 15.
Or does that record restart with you guys leaving?
Yeah,
Sure.
Yes, I
Sure.
vote for that.
I think you should do an overall and then kind of like a conference record sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's kind of like USC and UCLA, like switching
Yeah.
conferences. You know,
Right.
it's a new era. Like you still have your history, but who cares about that anymore?
It's like when, like, if you're a Major League Baseball player and at the trade deadline you get traded from the American League to the National League. That's exactly what these stats are going to be like, where they have to reset.
They reset hard.
Do they still do that now, even though the DH is gone?
I don't think so, but let's not let facts get in the way of anything. You know,
Who cares?
it'll
right?
be like the postseason. You know,
that's true. These are this was preseason,
right.
and then now it'll be the regular season.
Yeah. My favorite thing in the postseason is like when it's game 2 and some guy had like a 4 for 5 day the day before. It's like batting average 800.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, this guy's a Greek god.
Opening weekend, game 2,
Yes.
leads the league with 3 RBIs.
Yup. Exactly.
Yes. Matt, I believe you have another new segment here today.
Yeah, no, now this one's very complex. I hope everyone's sitting down. I hope everyone is very sober, clear of mind right now because this takes a lot of
That's
explaining.
not Justin. No.
Oh, Justin was hitting the bottle hard before this episode, let me tell you.
Keeping Pepsi in stock.
Yeah, you were. No, that was
Caffeine. He's the caffeine addict.
The segment is true or false.
I don't know. Can you explain it?
Well, I'm going to say a statement, and then you just got to decide if it's true or false.
Are you wait?
I
Is
think
he
that's what the
guessing,
eight-
or he knows, or like what? How does this work then?
The question is in the eyes of the interpreter, which is Justin here. So he's going to...
Well, give us an example. Give us just a fake question.
I'll loft one out there. Sure.
All right.
Yeah, let's start with question 1.
All right.
Penn State is the team to beat for Nick Marsh.
Oh.
I would say false. I would say that Michigan State is the team to beat for Nick Marsh.
Oh, my God.
I would say...
Wow, we just dropped the AirPod.
Oh, God, Justin. You have no idea how high my hopes are for Nick Marsh. Like,
Yeah.
here I am as
Are
just
you
a
okay?
full-grown man. I'm 31 years old, all right? I got a kid. I got another one on the way. And do you know what I care about the most in life right now?
Is turning on those huddle highlights.
Is watching Nick Marsh highlight tapes and praying to God every single night that he commits to Michigan State.
I don't
It's
know
sad,
what that means for
but
your
it's also that
kids,
important.
but
So
Yeah. We are going to have a close eye on the next several days. I believe we are looking at 9 days until it is decision day for Nick Marsh. I do not believe he has articulated to any of the schools where he plans to go.
okay.
Everyone will be trying their hardest to sway him here in the coming days. But with that said, I think they're all going to be taking shots at Michigan State in order to try to swing things back into their favor. Coach Hawkins, Mel Tucker, even Jay Johnson spent a lot of time with Nick during this past OV. And, the reason that I never, ever put that Penn State pick in back in the middle of June, early June, late May, even though Penn State probably was the leader at those times.
Sure.
The reason I never put in that pick was because Penn State has a lot of good selling points. Their coach might try his hardest to lose a lot of games, despite having very good units and a lot of guys in the NFL.
He does go out of his way to do that.
Yes. They put a lot of guys in the NFL. Stadium is really electric.
Sure.
They average probably 10 wins a season during this tenure. The fact of the matter, though, is that when Nick Marsh took his Michigan State official visit, that was the only one where his entire family was there.
I took the words out of my mouth. Yes.
And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's because the whole family, they're diehard Michigan State fans. They have Mel Tucker posters in the house. Probably not. Yeah. But guess what? Location. That's not something that anyone else can recreate. And even if the only reason they visited Michigan State, all of them, was because of location, and that's the only thing, they have no allegiance or affinity beyond that for Michigan State, Nick knows that for the falls, the next 4 years, the fall Saturdays, that's going to be the case once again. The family can come watch him every single fall Saturday in East Lansing. They can't do that anywhere else. And that feeling of family that he gets from the access of being close to home and the feeling of family that he always thought Michigan State had, I thought that was always going to sway him back no matter what. And seems like it did. Now let's see if they can keep that over the next 9 days.
I'm trying so hard. Because, look, we've been burned on a lot of recruiting battles. We've also won a lot, too. Like, I'm not just going to forget the good times, but, like, the bad times are the scars that you look down and remember when you see them. And I tell myself, like, I'm not going to get worked up over a kid again. No, not a high school kid. Justin, I've put my entire emotional energy into this kid. What has helped me, look, you're the recruiting expert. I'm just the idiot fan over here. What's helped my brain is that understand that, like, Penn State, and again, this is probably your 15th time hearing this from me. What they're really good at
is We Are Penn State.
Is the We Are Penn State chants. But also on the recruiting visits is either getting the kid to commit right there on the spot or at least leading for them. You know, like they've got a good recruiting department over there. The fact that he left Happy Valley without the We Are commitment post and, you know, is wearing all the flashy gear and everything like that, that gave me some pause. It's like, okay, this race might be wide open here. Okay. We live to see another official visit, if you will. So
the pressure cooker there is it's hot in in Beaver Stadium. He may possibly have even indicated to them that he was going there. Fact of the matter, though, is, Matt, it doesn't matter until public commitment is made. Some may even argue it doesn't matter until signing day, but it might have been closer than you thought with that coming to fruition. But here we are, 9 days away, and I think Michigan State sits in the lead.
Matt, you talked about your the priority is Nick Marsh over your own kids. What does that mean for your kind of family?
Oh, you were not. Luckily, no one in my family watches this show, so that's we're just gonna skirt right by that here. Look, when my kid becomes 6'4" and can moss every single kid that he goes up against, like that, I'll start paying attention to you a little bit.
What's
just give it 13 years.
He'll be a highly rated 3-star. Okay. Yeah, we get it out the mud in the Sheehan family. That's right. So, nothing too flashy here, but no.
True Chains will give him a bump at his camp. Yeah,
there you go.
At the Hope College camp that he goes to. Yeah, he'll move from a 2-star to a low 3-star. It'll be great. No, don't foresee me myself being like all of 5'9", and then my lovely wife being 5'2". Don't think that the little tyke is going to be a highly rated recruit one day. I see we're gonna have some questions here if he becomes 6'4". We might have a Maury episode on our hands, but until then, like we'll take it easier and just focus on golf right now. That's okay for us. Yeah.
All right.
So, God, I'm back in, man. I started June back. 3 commits. Like, you know what? If not for nothing, at least I don't got any hope. You know, like there's
so
something to be said about that.
Up then we're back.
Bro, I'm back in all the way.
Okay,
I'm back in all the way.
Yeah.
You know what? I said that I was going to ask you how many commits would Michigan State have by August 1st, and I never circled back to that question.
Yeah.
Do you want to just hit that really quick?
Let's hit that really quick.
Jesus, I'm an amateur at this.
Let me calculate in my head.
Yeah. Carry the 1, divide by 3, multiply by 4, take the square root of it.
You said August 1st?
August 1st. August 1st. Yeah.
And while he's waiting, Matt, how many kids will you have?
Well, number 2 is coming during the Maryland game, which like, wow. Talk about a stressful
5,
weekend.
6.
That's gonna be it's gonna be 2.
I will estimate and say 13, 14, 13-ish.
Wow.
Let's say 13 and a half is where you set the over-under.
But how many stars do these kids have?
Oh, I can't do that much math in my head.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna be happy if the number was like 11. You know?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that makes you smile.
Yeah.
Okay.
What if he's lying to you?
Very
That's
possible.
fine, then lie to me. I don't care. I'm
Very
having a great
possible.
time right now. My vibe is astronomical right now. All right. Second true or false question.
I'll go a step further. I'll even say what I was thinking.
Let's hear it. Mindset right now.
Again, this is being recorded at 9:07 Eastern Time on June 28th, which is our Wednesday, in the year 2023.
Yep.
So a lot can change. Things can change in 24 hours. Kids can wake up tomorrow and feel completely different about our program.
Yeah.
So when someone tries to snip this to dunk on me in 7 weeks,
Yeah.
okay,
Sure.
have at it, sure.
Yeah.
The blueprint that I see to 13 to 14 commits is you're looking at Henry Hasselbeck, looking at Justin Denson. That gets you up to 11. Tramar Harris is announcing on June 30th. He's still pretty much split between Purdue and Michigan State.
June 30th.
Yes,
That's
very,
coming
very
hot.
soon. Very
Okay,
soon.
okay.
Could be Purdue, could be Michigan State. I know he loves the new Graham Harrell sales
Yeah.
pitch of the air raid they're going to try to attempt there. But he likes Coach Hawk. He likes Coach Tucker. Let's just include him for now. So that's up to 12, right? Let's include Nick Marsh. That's at 13 right away.
Yeah.
Now,
I guess I see it. Yeah.
yeah.
Sure.
And Jason Brown said he would commit maybe in August. Let's say he possibly commits. That gets you to 14, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe you take Tramar Harris out of there. Possibly you get back to 13. Or he doesn't commit and you do get Tramar Harris. So you're in that 13 to 14 range.
Okay.
And this is with no other surprise that I can't think of right now. It's just maybe like if Jamari Howard recommits, I guess then you're looking at 14 to 15.
Sure, right.
So like that's a conservative, but like still including some big fish. And DeAndre Carter, maybe he doesn't take that Texas official in the fall and he commits now, or he commits now and takes that in the fall. So you're looking at like a solid 13, maybe 14.
What's the floor?
What do you mean? What's the floor? Yeah,
Yeah.
like 13, I would say.
Wow. Okay.
They somehow, I guess, if Marsh swings back to Penn State or Pitt offers every single asset that they have in their football department, then I guess that balances out by them getting somebody like DeAndre Carter or Jason Brown in that scenario, or maybe a Kamar Mathuti or a Dylan Williams if they decide not to go and play at Oregon, both of them, and be in battle for positioning. So it's very possible, but
That'd be sick.
yeah,
There we go. Are you ready for true or false number 2?
I am.
On the Twitter sphere, hey, or as you're just walking around the campus of Michigan State University, you might notice on that giant scoreboard the date 7/28/23 is up there. So true or false, Justin? You know what's happening on July 28th.
He does.
I wish I did, man.
I know.
Wish we all did.
I do think that somebody out there must know. Who do you think probably knows, other than Darian Harris, obviously,
yeah.
and the people?
Yeah, if you had to guess, throw out a name.
probably the chief.
People should attack on Twitter.
Probably
to
the
know.
chief. Everyone
Chief,
DM
yeah,
the chief.
let's
Chief.
yeah.
Okay.
Everyone, Chief told me.
Maybe
Yeah.
Oh, he did it?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, you're right. Chief told me he knew too.
Well, he
Yeah.
tweeted
All
out
right.
7/28/23, so
This
Chief
is
has
true.
to know.
I believe there's an eye
Chief
emoji.
has to know.
So
right?
everybody right now as you're watching this, DM the chief.
Yeah.
Tell him they said on the SD4L show that you know what 728 is. Just harass him and bombard him
Yeah.
until your account gets
DMs,
deleted for spam.
Whatever you
I
like
do
to
want to mention more about this tweet. So it says, "Never forget this is home," with the picture of the scoreboard with 7/28/23.
Don't forget the emoji.
The dog emoji,
Yeah.
excuse me. That's right. I think Spartan Dog Con is that same
Yes,
weekend.
that
or
is
whatever.
correct.
However, never forget this. The N is capitalized, the F is capitalized, and the T is capitalized. Now, with that said, let me get ahead of this right now. I know this is a Michigan State show. I'm a huge Michigan State fan. I love Michigan State more than anything on this world. If it's an NFT, I swear to God.
What will you do, Matt? We want to see a video. If it's an NFT,
Probably going to be a really
what would
big.
you do?
Probably going to be a really big Badger fan going forward here, or just
You're a Fickle
devote my
kinda guy?
life to.
Luke Fickle? Okay.
Yeah, probably, or just like devote my life to something like meaningful, like finance or healthy living. I don't know.
Matt becoming a day trader to spite the NFTs.
Yeah, I'm gonna tank cryptocurrency out of spite for another NFT reveal.
Right.
Anyway, let's say that NFT is the acronym here. I've heard two good schools of thought.
What are they?
New football turf or new field turf.
Okay.
Which, like, if it's actual AstroTurf, I do
It's
like the
kinda
natural
dumb
grass.
still.
Yeah, me too.
But what if it's like
That's still
a
dumb.
new field design, if you will? You know,
I don't care.
Ooh, that'd be like a Gruff Sparty at midfield. Ooh,
What
or
about
neon end
what if-
zones?
all right,
Yes,
all right.
that's what I was gonna say. What about
I
if they? What about if the neon uniforms are out and a neon field like Boise State is in?
No.
Could you imagine your
Please, no.
eyesight
Dude,
after
so many
that
people
game?
hate that. Dude, I'm
Yeah.
standing in the field and then I'd be like, dude, this is way too bright in my feet.
Bro, like, imagine driving
sunglasses.
home. It's a green light
Yeah,
on Lake
dude, you can't
Lansing.
see
You're not
it.
going to see the light. You're going to blow right
couldn't see
through
it.
it.
I
No one's
don't
gonna see the
think it's
traffic
that,
lights.
and I hope it's not that.
No. The other one I heard is new football threads.
It's possible.
All black unis, are they going to be in the mix finally?
Oh, God.
better be
that
in the
would be
mix.
so...
It's
that would
about
be
time,
nice.
right?
It is about time.
Yeah.
It is past time.
Or could it be new frosty treats? Like melting moments, isn't that? Or
Melting Moments
Melting
2.0.
Dude, if they took away melting moments, I'd probably cry. I'd cry.
We need to do an hour on how they need to bring back Tim Hortons hot chocolate from like 2 episodes ago. I need to continue.
We'll just clip that. You guys did a
that's
good
true.
job.
You can edit
you
that
talked
into
about
this
that
one.
for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
so.
Please edit that into the end of this one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You could.
the other thing I've written down for NFT, maybe this is how they reveal alcohol sales. No Fireball tax.
Oh,
That's,
okay.
That's
nah,
right.
I don't think that's a thing.
Shooters of Fireball at Spartan Stadium
That's
are $2,
a
no
long
tax
shot.
at all.
No,
Why, you think it'll be $1?
$0.
Even free Fireball upon arrival. Yes. Yep. There we go.
For the
Free
primetime
Fireball.
night game.
Can you imagine what that CMU game would be like if it's free Fireball?
Or the Michigan game.
I'll tell you
we're
what.
just-
The
guys, we're just talking. We're coming off Welcome Week. Free Fireball.
Yep.
What would this campus look like? What would East Lansing? What would remain of East Lansing?
Rubble, like ash, probably, and the chips would never convert on third down. Like that's for sure. I know a few things that it would just be a desolate parking lot in East Lansing after that, and then the chips would just go 0-14 on third down. It'd be,
But I got a true or false question for you, Matt.
yo, let's go.
True or false?
Okay.
When Michigan State wins the national championship,
Okay.
you will be in the Red Cedar. True or false?
I'm like
Matt was about to be in the Red Cedar when they won 10 games last year.
I know, man. If I'm not physically at the game,
Right.
yeah, I'll find my way in the Red Cedar
Would you
River.
be in the Red
Oh,
Cedar?
at some point, absolutely. Oh, yeah. I'll swim from Harrison to Hubbard in the Red Cedar if they win a national title. No question.
Have you
Either
ever,
sport.
Have you ever been in the Red Cedar before?
Not knowingly. Not to memory.
Oh,
Some fuzzy nights in East Lansing.
yeah.
Some you get back
Do
with
you
your
ever end
pants
up
soaked,
like
but
near
like I
the Red
don't.
Cedar? Like where?
Say what? Sorry.
Do you ever
Are,
end
are you asking me if the Red Cedar was around when I was a student? Like
No. I'm just saying, like, were you ever like, oh, I'm about to jump in?
Not clear of mine, at least. Again, a lot of blurry nights up there.
That's never really been a thing for me. But
That's good. That's good.
But
See,
we had talked
upstanding
about that.
citizens here on the show.
we talked about that in 2021 when
Yeah.
we weren't so confident that Michigan State would win. My friends were talking about jumping in the Red Cedar.
Oh yeah.
And then
Oh, yeah.
ultimately they won, but they did not jump in, so they kind of backed out. But
Frauds.
yeah,
Frauds.
I feel like this year, if we did beat Michigan, they would jump in. Yeah,
Oh my God! If they beat
gonna be
Michigan this
cold.
year, yeah, that's
good.
yeah.
Well, it's a weekend sooner than it was in
Yeah, it's
2021.
the
so-
21st. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Might be later in the day, though.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what the TV contract, everything like that. Who's got first pick, everything like that.
I heard it's a 2 a.m. game.
Ohio
this year.
State and Penn State also
Really?
are that weekend, and who
Yeah.
knows what ranking
That weekend is
they'll
always
be.
low.
I think
those
Ohio
big
State,
games.
Penn State's going to be big noon. And I think
But what if Fox doesn't get first pick? Like, who knows who gets first pick, though? That's the thing. Does NBC, CBS, or Fox get first pick?
I'm like 62% sure that it's going to be later than
think
it
it-
was the last time.
So you think
that
like
it was in
3:30, or you think NBC? Would CBS or NBC? What's your pick right now?
Late game.
You thinking NBC?
Latest slot, I think.
7 or 8
I think it's
o'clock.
going to be the latest
Well, that
slot
would
they
be
have.
like
Not sure if it's
7:30,
7:30,
yeah.
not sure if that's 8, but
Yeah.
that's my guess. Not intel,
Saturday
not
Night Football,
sources.
whatever they're calling
Just
Yeah, we're just guessing.
kind of heard it was
Like,
trended that way last year when the
If they both
Michigan game.
undefeated, then if NBC had first pick, they would 100% take that, you know? But, like, who knows?
I don't.
If I had to place a bet, I'd say it's going to be
I
dark.
would say I would predict that would be the second pick of that weekend, even if Michigan State wasn't that good,
Right.
or like whoever, like if
Yeah,
Ohio State,
always
Penn State
draws
were both
eyes,
better.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find out. What's the next one, Matt?
Well, I was going to say this one, but I forgot I'm around two youths right now. So,
How old are you?
Humor me, guys. I'm 81 years old. Yeah. True or false? Okay, this is a game that's been getting a lot of buzz on Twitter in the last 48 hours. The 2013 football game against Notre Dame is the greatest MSU what if of the last 15 years.
What about that? What about that year we lost to Nebraska?
15.
Was that 15?
So the thing with that is, like, nothing ever changed because we still had to beat Ohio State on the road. Even if we won that game,
Right.
the road to Indianapolis still ran through Columbus.
Right.
And, like, after I threw every single beer can and piece of glass and plates against the wall after the Nebraska game, I had a moment of clarity. I was like, that in the grand scheme of things, it actually doesn't matter because even if we lost to Ohio State next week, like, we wouldn't have gone to Indy anyway. So, like,
what if had we beaten Ohio State at Ohio State in 2021?
I just
Then it'd be a
just don't
three-way
think.
tie, and Ohio State would go. Michigan would never go.
For a what
would be
if
that-
for me,
what would
Yeah,
that mean
it
for
has to be
Michigan?
close to have happening. Like it needed to be a bare miss.
That's
really sucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we just talking strictly football? Or are we talking
No,
basketball?
any.
What
Yeah.
about that? Had that Iowa game not happened this year for basketball, would you still be living, Matt?
I would have at least 3 years on the end of my life for sure. But, like, I think for the team that actually helped them maybe because, like, if there's one thing that team knew the rest of the season, and honestly, like, with the core leadership they have coming back this year, into this year, if there's one thing that group of guys knows is that game ain't over until the clocks read 0-0-0 like that.
Right.
So that
And
game
they came close.
sucked, but, like, it's going to be a good lesson in the long run. I think.
You're right.
My biggest what if, and it's not even close.
Okay.
Nothing is. I don't know if it fits in the criteria because it's not something that actually happened. It's something that didn't happen. It's my junior year, that Michigan State team. Cassius' senior year.
No, that's 100%
No,
inbounds.
he's
Yeah.
right.
100%
He's right.
inbounds,
That's
yeah.
the biggest what
Nothing
if.
will come close.
What if that guy in
100%.
China never ate that bat? Like, that's
Well,
that's
they-
our what if. Yeah.
It's gonna be something that I think about for forever.
You will never know.
Yeah.
Can you, Matt? I want to know. I want to. If I could ever invent like a multiverse kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would go into multiverse to see if Michigan State had won that year.
So I think that makes it the greatest what if, right?
Yeah.
So especially
Yeah, it's
of
gotta
recent
be.
history.
For sports wise,
Yeah.
for Michigan State at least.
Because, look, I know that there's a lot of talk about this 2013. Like, oh, if they beat Notre Dame, they would have been 13-0 going into the national title game. Something really weird has happened. Again, if you're not online or on Twitter, you are living a fantastic lifestyle. You're very healthy, but, like, there's a weird thing where, like, there's a lot of people saying, like, oh, Michigan State fans are idiots for thinking they could have beat Florida State in 2013. Yeah, that makes right. We're idiots for what would have been fans of a 13-0 team that just beat the number 2 team in the country in the Big Ten title game. Right, we're idiots for thinking that we would have a shot against Florida State. Like, somewhere in the last 48 hours, it might be the air quality. It might be messing up everyone's brain.
It is messing up yours.
I'm the only one that has clarity, it seems like, when it comes to this. Like, everyone is like, oh, Michigan State had no shot in that game. Like, top 3 defense in the country.
Right.
Okay, an offense that was humming by the end of the season. Like, would we beat Florida State more times than not? No, probably not. No.
Right.
I think Michigan State wins maybe 3 out of those 10 games. Right? Michigan State in 2015 on the road to Ohio State. Let's go
Right.
back to that game.
Yeah.
They win maybe 0.2 of those 10 games. All right?
Yeah.
And they still found a way to do it. So, yeah, like, call us MSU fans crazy for thinking that there would have been, if the Notre Dame calls didn't happen, 13-0 team would have competed against Florida State. Like, oh, you guys only had 2 NFL first-round cornerbacks? Like, yeah, that's generational. That's really good.
What about what if 2013 when we won that Rose Bowl, the college football playoffs had existed?
See, that's another great one.
Would they have won the national championship?
That's another great one.
Who knows?
You at least get the shot. But that's the thing.
But
It's
that's yeah, that would never happen. But
I know, and, like, I don't bend myself out of shape about 2013. Like, I'm not losing sleep because, like, oh, we didn't go to the national title. Because, like, the rest of the season went pretty okay. Like, oh, we didn't win a
Absolutely.
national title. So
awesome. No, it was awesome.
Right,
Yeah.
our silver medal
Absolutely
was
awesome.
winning the Big Ten title, winning the Rose Bowl. Like, it was. It's fine.
They maxed out that year. Like
Yes.
besides the loss,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
as good as you could do.
Yeah. Another one is obviously like if Giddy Potts didn't go nuclear for Middle Tennessee State in 2016, like.
Would you have lost the next weekend, though?
For me, kind of, though, like, if it's that removed from the end result, that's kind of what takes... Because I haven't thought about, like, this year's Michigan State team.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
I don't know if they win the national title, but, like, Florida Atlantic in the next round.
Probably
San Diego State in the next round after that. Like, they probably
just
still
not
lose to
gone nuts.
UConn, probably.
I don't think they beat UConn.
Yeah, so, like, that's...
UConn was a NBA team by the end of the season. Yeah.
Turner Hawkins going to be nice.
But still, 9th Final Four banner?
Yeah, exactly.
Something to say about that.
National championship game, so...
If I can go way back and use, like, my last 15-year window. Oh, and you weren't even born then. JT, you were about 2 years old. This was 2009 when Caleb Lucas...
was born.
Yes, when I was 11.
Yeah. Right, like I said. 2009, Caleb Lucas blowing his leg out like that. They went to the Final Four that year, but, I mean, Corey Lucius can only carry them so much. But, again, that for you young pups, that might as well have been 2 eras ago. So, But, no, there's a lot of good what-ifs. And, like, I'm trying to think of, like, some what-ifs that, like, happened good for Michigan State. Like, what if R.J. Barrett...
What if Kenneth Walker had never come to Michigan State?
Of course,
that's a bad kind of one if. That's
what we're saying.
I think it's a good one actually.
Okay.
Or like, you know what my favorite what if in the good thing for Michigan State is? What if R.J. Barrett missed that free throw at the end of the game like he was supposed to? Because Zion Williamson was scaling. I believe it was Kenny Goins' back. And you know who wasn't getting any fouls called against them was Zion Williamson.
Yes.
Have you ever watched Free Solo? The guy rock climbing?
Yeah.
That's what Zion Williamson looked like.
Arm,
that's what Zion Williamson looked like as he was climbing up Kenny Goins. If he missed that free throw, Zion easily grabs that rebound, tip slam, dukes up 2 points going into the end here. Yeah. Or no, I'm sorry, they would have been tied game. That's what it would have been. Yeah.
Who knows? Who absolutely knows?
That's my favorite one if that happened good for Michigan State. Like if R.J. Barrett, that's how much he sucked at free throw shooting, which I couldn't believe. Like this guy's a lottery pick, decent shooter on the floor.
Right.
On the free throw line, he's 65%.
Yeah.
Clanks the first one.
Right.
Tries to miss the second one.
Yeah.
Is so bad at free throws that he makes it on accident, and then all right. Sparty up 1 point. Yeah. Let's hit on this ball. And that's another great what if that happened. Good for Michigan State.
What if D'Antonio had never worked out at Michigan State? Where would Michigan State be?
Jesus.
Yeah,
that's an
you
incredible
really want
one.
to think about
because that third year under D'Antonio, not good. 6-6.
Right.
Lost to Central Michigan.
What if they had fired him after that?
Right.
Yeah. Or you want to take it even a step further?
I would love to.
Remember those first couple years of Tom Izzo?
Correct.
I don't remember that.
What if they fired? Yeah.
Allegedly, they were not good.
If you had not held on, ridden the wave, like believed in the guy you had originally believed in.
Yeah.
Who knows? You know. What if Michigan had fired Jim Harbaugh before year 7?
Yeah. Which everyone at that school wanted them to do.
Correct.
Or I should say the fan base.
Sure.
I feel like everyone around the country felt that way. Though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's.
I'll be the first to say that I was wrong about how the rest of that tenure went.
Yeah.
2019 Big Ten Tournament Championship, Michigan State versus Michigan in basketball.
That was a fun
Iggy
one.
Brasdakis, did he blow kisses? Like, they were up 12 or something. He did something boisterous.
Well, Matt
and the
McQuaid
game
went
turned
crazy.
right there.
What if Matt McQuaid had never gone nuts?
What if Kyle Arns never sprained his ankle?
Yeah,
I think the sprained ankle lit a fuse under Matt McQuaid. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is terrible. Kyle, I'm sure that hurt a lot. But thank you for taking one for the team there, because I think that lit a fire under Matt McQuaid never seen before, because he went nuclear at the end of that game. That was a lot of fun at the end of that one.
What if MSU had beaten Alabama in the college football playoff game? Where would Michigan State be?
Who did Alabama even play in 2015 after that game? Was it Oklahoma or was it Clemson?
Well, they won, so.
Right, they beat it.
It's probably Clemson, right? Because I think after that is when Clemson started to get revenge a couple times.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Shockingly, after we lost 37-0, didn't really care to watch a national title game that year. So like, I have no memory of watching that whatsoever. Here's one, and this is like the one thing about Izzo that like I think is his best trait or stat, if you will. He's got so many great accolades against him.
Clipboard breaking?
No, it's not clipboard breaking. It's a tournament streak.
Yes.
Like his tournament streak like is like my favorite thing about him.
Yeah.
What if... Who told him about Aaron Henry? Was it Gary Harris led him on to Aaron Henry?
Yeah, and his father.
Right. What like, because Aaron Henry.
That never happened, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, basketball, team sport.
Yeah.
Everyone contributes to a win and a loss.
Yeah.
Aaron Henry dragged that team to the tournament in the last 2 weeks of that season. So, like, if Gary Harris never said, hey, this guy down here in Indiana,
Yeah.
Right.
not too shabby. Over here at Ben Davidson High,
Yeah.
you might want to take a look at him. Ended up being the best player of that class.
Yeah.
Who would have guessed? Who'd have guessed?
Yeah.
That dude was hilarious, too.
Penny?
Solid quotes.
Yeah, like, he
You don't apply to fish for swimming? Yeah.
my first ever press conference over Zoom, it was Henry and I think it was like Chris Laurie or somebody like asked him, like looking out the window, driving on the bus, what was it like looking out your home, you know, because he's from Indiana.
Yeah.
Henry's like, well, it was snowing, so I didn't see much.
Straight to the point. Okay. All right. There we go. I got one more true or false.
Yes.
JT, and this is for you. Like, we had the conversation a little bit ago, just like talk about like your work in the industry and everything like that.
Yes.
I want to keep going on that. That was a good conversation we had.
Yeah, those are good. Those are good convos for sure.
True or false?
False.
Crystal balls
True.
cause a headache for you.
True. I knew where this was going right before you even finished the sentence. Hate them, Matt.
Obviously, they're a massive part of
Why
the
do you do 'em,
industry.
then?
Like, predictions in the recruiting service, they drive the attention and everything.
Yes.
But for you, what's it like being the man on the inside? And if anyone watching doesn't know what a crystal ball is, it's the prediction for where a kid in high school is going to go. When you guys have a hunch of where they're going to go.
Right.
You know, like it's your prediction for the school they're going to commit
Yes.
to.
Hate them, Matt. I break down the consumer base into two segments.
Yeah.
One, the fans that like really are into recruiting, they check daily what the message boards say. They get all the intel, right?
Yeah.
Then there's the fans that they don't really care much about any recruiting developments other than crystal balls, commitments, and letters of intent being filed in. Just those three things. Now, the second batch of people there, the people that are surface level following it, they're not too invested in it. For them, if they see a crystal ball, they're missing the context of it, right? They're not on the message board. They're not understanding why we're placing it, how far along the recruitment really is. Is it really a done deal?
Yeah.
What factors might sway it? All these different things. They're missing the whole context. They see the crystal ball. They get really excited. If it goes wrong, people are going to come blame us as if it's not possible that a kid who's 16, 17 might change his mind before that day and then the day that he puts in the pullets on the hat. Mm-hmm. Then there's the other group of people. It's the people that they follow it every single day. They know every development and every recruitment, every visit the kid's taking, the quotes he's giving coming out of the visits. For those people, we are always providing constant intel all the time, 24/7, literally 24/7, like the site.
Like the name. Yeah.
Yes. Every single thing that happens, we are putting it in message board format. Again, for people that don't know, 99% of our work, it's not the articles you see that are paywalled, it's the stuff we're seeing in the message board threads. So we're always putting updates in there. Yet, even those people are like, can you put in a crystal ball? Thinking like, we're giving you every single thing we know. We're giving it to you as we know it. And
just got off the
still,
phone.
your interest is just in this click that I can do in this guy's profile,
Right.
not the actual value I'm providing you. So it's like, it should be beneath the people that are diving into recruiting.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't say enough to the people that are surface level. It's like, it doesn't serve either audience. So I just not a fan of that. It's still good. Just it's like it's fun sometimes.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like a Jason Brown, where you're like, you know, I think people need to understand the impact of how well Michigan State did in June. This is a good way to materialize the impact instead of us just putting the words momentum in articles.
Right.
So it's like, okay, these guys are putting their name and their reputation behind it. So sometimes like it's cool to do that. But like just in general, the concept as a whole, I don't think it does enough for either audience base.
That was a great answer, by the way, because like, again, and you know, fine, I'm gonna go off script here. Like you had the guy that
script.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, where is the script?
I don't have a copy of any
I've never
script.
seen
I
it.
didn't print it out for you guys.
No.
Oh,
No.
I'm sorry, guys. Like I had someone the other day because you put in a crystal ball for a kid. I forgot what his name was. I'm sorry. For an Ohio kid to go to Ohio State, and then some Michigan fans said like, "Oh, hey, great call, Justin." The kid,
Right.
well, he teetered towards Michigan, teetered back towards Ohio State, and it's like, well, you were right in the end. But like, how annoying is that? Like when a kid that you have a crystal ball in for is starting to change momentum, which doesn't happen a lot for you, I gotta say, first and foremost, because like when you put a crystal ball in, like you're pretty solid. You're not going willy-nilly. Right. But if a kid starts to shift to another school, is it annoying to like hear from other fans or users be like, "Oh, way to go, Thind"?
The biggest frustration about that is I can't actually say what I know about what I put in the pick, because otherwise I would just say, "Hey, this linebacker that you guys just got, he silently committed to Michigan State staff twice in this calendar year."
Yep.
But
people are going to be like, "No, this guy's just putting in picks for the school he graduated from, and he wants the fans to get excited, and that's all he's doing." Can't say, "Hey, on this date and on this date that I know for a fact he gave 2 silent verbals to," but then he just kept going back and forth. That's not my fault.
But you send them Succession memes, though, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I got the Succession memes ready. Okay. I mean, at this point, like, I don't even have like my Twitter notifications to anything where I get notifications from people that don't follow me.
Yeah.
So I've just given up on like having logic with people from outside of that sphere. Right. But I do appreciate the engagement and the traction that it brings to the tweets. So I do appreciate that. I hope that keeps coming.
So if Matt was like, hey on Twitter, would you get that notification?
Yes. Unless Matt unfollows me. Oh. Which any day.
Do you follow Justin Thin?
I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah. I hope so. That'd be really helpful.
If not,
I think.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. Favorite crystal ball you've ever logged? Because I have a favorite crystal ball that you have logged.
Oh.
I wonder if you know
what you're talking about, Matt.
Matt, have you ever logged a crystal
slipped
ball?
On that confidence level for our good friend that ended up at Texas.
Yeah, he nailed it. Yeah, Peyton Kirkland. Yeah, nailed it. Oh, that's one of the fun. Because that's one of the most genius things that like you guys have done at 24/7 Sports is like not just a crystal ball where you can predict where, but like your confidence level. As well, because I think there was a time too where like you guys didn't have confidence level. It was just school where like you could have like, oh, I think he's going to go to Michigan State. I'll put a 6 confidence by it, and we'll keep talking about the Peyton Kirkland stuff. You never go like full 10,
never,
because like look, if you have like a confidence of like 6 or 7, like it's your way of saying like, hey, I have a pretty good idea. Don't want to spoil it for. I'm going to leave this 30% mystery out here, right? But Peyton Kirkland, who had a Final 5, none of the schools were Texas, and then he tried to pull a fast one. And you said, Texas is a 10 crystal ball.
Listen.
Cackled at that one. Cackled at that one.
Listen, it has nothing to do with,
but you know,
with Peyton. Yes.
You were serving your fan base. You were serving your subscription base. Yeah.
So nothing along the lines of spoiling or like anything like that.
No, you said really good intel.
I had to make it clear. Because there were a lot of doubters.
Yes.
Of not me. Like there were a lot of doubters of the entire and me.
But, no. I'm saying, but you're right. It is all about the doubters.
Right. Yeah. So they were doubting the intel in general of everyone saying that Texas is a real player here when they're not in the top 5.
Yeah.
Everyone kept saying no. The consumers of the information were saying like, no, that would never happen. They're not in the top 5.
Visited there.
I'm hearing it's Texas. Corey's hearing it's Texas. The Texas Longhorns reporters are hearing it's Texas. Nobody's willing to go on the record. So I said,
statement time.
I know it's Texas. I don't care who's not believing it. I'm gonna assert with the most confidence I can that it's gonna be Texas.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Put your reputation on it. I mean, like, oh, you don't believe me? Here, I'll log a 10 ball for you guys. So yeah. Is there any that like you logged and like the favor can be, interpreted differently?
Yeah.
Like, was there one that you logged and it caught fire immediately, and you're like, oh yeah, I got the fan base stirring right now, or like I really broke this, or
the one that actually got way more stir than I thought it would, just because we were covering that recruitment really closely and we figured everyone knew that it was coming. It was when we finally put in those Katin Hauser crystal balls 3 days after his official visit to Michigan State.
Yeah.
It was like, I guess maybe the Twitter sphere didn't know as much of how closely we were following and how those were probably expected given what we had said on Monday. But when Wednesday came and we put on those picks, it was just a firestorm of, wow, Michigan State's going to land this kid that just finished in the Elite 11 finals, like in the 11, and flipped him from the West Coast. And it was 2 days after the visit. So that was probably the one that had the biggest momentum. That was probably the most fun to watch after it was placed. My least favorite, which you did not ask.
No, but hey,
it is when I got the Armani Winfield crystal ball wrong.
Wow.
It was signing day.
Yes.
I was told the night before signing day that it was Michigan State.
Okay.
By as solid of an intel you could have.
Okay.
The next morning, I
Mel
wake
Tucker
up.
knocked on your door and said, "Hey, I got him riding in the car. He just told me he's coming here." Like that's how solid it was.
The next morning, National Signing Day.
Yeah.
I believe it was my birthday. Got the birthday present of saying, "Hey, guys, not going to Michigan State, but here I have for you bulletproof intel
Yes.
from a source that was 100% before and 100% since.
Yeah.
Here is gift wrapped information for you as a present that Mr. Winfield will be going to Baylor."
Yes.
I go through all the signing day stuff, write the articles, go on podcasts, go to the gym, come home, 9 o'clock, check my phone, scroll down like 3 hours, 6 p.m. Armani Winfield had committed to the Texas Longhorns. And at that point, I had gotten my first crystal ball wrong. And
That's tough.
Did you cry? Word tear shed.
it was like Kendall Roy. It was like when he's on the yacht.
Oh, no.
When he's on the yacht after the passing of a main character and he's on the phone. He's
Matt
not
gotten to
crying,
that
but he
part?
says, "Oh, okay." And then he stares into the horizon. It was like that. It was like that, me reading the
How
Armani
fast can I
Winfield
sink to
tweet.
the bottom of this sea right now? How?
Right.
Shoot. Yeah.
Matt, have you finished the series?
No, I'm gonna finish it in the next 2 weeks though. Yeah.
Next 2 weeks, you were just on. You were almost done.
Next Wednesday, when this
Yeah.
show is not taking place at this slot, Matt's going to use
Right.
that. He's going to keep it boxed in, but he's
Right.
going to use it to watch a run through
Yes.
Succession.
Yes. Right here at this desk, actually. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Really quick change of conversation topic. So we went out to dinner before recording
Yeah.
here, and
Yeah.
someone at the table, the great Brian Masalam, I'll just
Yes.
say his name. It's,
Yes.
Yeah, he's been on the show a few times.
Yeah, he
I
does
would
not
think.
give a crap.
He talked about the 5 times he cried during sporting events.
He did. He did.
Oh, and have you ever cried during a sporting event? JT, I'm going to ask you the same question.
Oh,
so
yes.
get your
I will
brain
say
going.
yes.
Okay, hit us. It's okay. It's okay to be emotional and sensitive. It's okay.
To be honest, and I told Izzo this.
Okay.
'cause it had to be the Indiana game after the shooting.
Oh,
at
God,
Michigan
that's
State.
yeah.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
was an emotional one. Like
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, literally was my favorite basketball game that year.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
But besides that, I didn't cry, but the 2021 Michigan State game was awesome. Just it will not surpass, and like had so many like fellow colleagues, everything like that, like say that was the best game of their
Oh, dude.
tenure at Michigan State.
That was a fun thing about that game too. It's like I had people that like don't root for either schools like reach out. They're like, "Dude, that was an awesome game."
Awesome.
I was like, "Oh, you're kind of right," because like
Awesome.
I just felt like dying the entire game. Like that
Yeah.
was like for us fans, like that was a very stressful game. You couldn't appreciate how just great of a pure football game that was until like
Right.
a week later
Well,
when all the emotions finally went away.
Yeah.
Like it was an awesome
And
game.
for me, there's a couple of factors. One, for the entire game, I thought they would lose. Like that's
Sure.
just my mindset. Like
Down 16 in the
there
third
was-
quarter,
and there was
vibe's
so
not
much
good.
time in the
Yeah.
fourth quarter too, where
Yeah.
Cade and Michigan were until they threw that pick. I thought they were going to score
They were
100%
they were
and win.
walking down the field.
Yeah. I was
walking
like,
down
dude,
the field.
we are screwed. And then
Yes.
like until they fumbled with the quorum and everything like that, I was like 100% they're going to score right here and this is over.
Right.
Yep.
And they didn't. But then
know.
the night before,
Okay.
because we had both College Game Day and Fox Big Noon there.
Yeah.
Kickoff. Yeah.
Well, Big Noon, I got this from a friend, intel that they were going to Harper's. So I told
Sure.
all me and my friends, and we all went to Harper's. My first time actually going there.
Okay.
And the coolest thing ever was they had like this guy from Fox or whatever introduce each one of them, and like the last one was Reggie Bush came running out, and they're like Reggie Bush. But the best part, the best part that gave me chills was when they said drinks are on Fox, and then place was crazy. It was
Yo.
crazy, dude. They just started handing out beers. Every beer that Harper's had was
Oh my
like,
God, that's awesome. I've
Dude,
never heard that
was like-
story.
I was
Yeah,
like,
that's the
no
first time I've ever heard that
way,
story.
dude.
Wow.
And Liner and Reggie are just handing beers out. I'm fisting them. I got like 5 in my hand. I'm already like 6, 7 deep.
That's
But I'm
amazing.
like, dude, I gotta grab them, man. Dude, like greatest weekend of my life. There
That's
will.
amazing.
I don't know. That might have been my peak right there. It's 2021.
Don't blame
that
you.
weekend right there.
That's
but yeah.
sensational, man. wow.
Yeah, that is.
And then I got a picture with Ken Jeong and talked to him, and he was awesome.
Oh, that's right. He was a celebrity
Yeah.
picker.
Yeah.
That's
By
right.
the way, I would never understand why College Game Day picked him to be
Yeah.
the Michigan
No
State
clue.
guest
I
or
agree.
whatever.
No clue. He
I
did a
agree.
great job, but it was very
really
weird.
nice,
Yeah.
really nice guy.
Yes.
Very nice. Did not know a thing about football though,
Right.
because
Yeah.
it was I would talk to him when they were reviewing the 2-point conversion where Reed caught it and then the dude ripped it out.
Yes.
And he's like,
Yeah.
and I was like, what do you think? And he's like, oh, I didn't even know they were reviewing it or whatever. I don't know what's going on. And I was like, totally okay, man.
Yeah. You did great hangover,
Yeah.
so that's all that matters.
Dude,
Yeah.
you're so fucking funny. Like,
Yeah, he was awesome. Like, it was a weird celebrity pick for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after watching it, it's like
I thought it was
he's
gonna be
kind of
like-
he's kind of rocking it. Like,
like
he's doing
Key and
great.
P. I know, like
So they had. No, I
Keegan
can't say.
Michael. I know he went to Penn
October,
State, but
but-
like, he. I mean, he's from Detroit. Like,
Right, yeah, Michael Key is, yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, there's
Take your
other
pick of
better
Michigan
options.
celebrities.
If I think October 31st probably was NBA season that started, but Draymond would have been a great celebrity
Draymond.
picker.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Draymond would have been
Professionally
awesome.
trained these days now.
Yep.
What a
TNT.
week and what a weekend for like Michigan State in general for that weekend. Like it just
Historic.
Tucker went on College Game Day. It just like just the emotion. Were you there in East Lansing? Or were you? At
I was
home?
not. No, I was out of the state.
Motion, like you could feel it. Like just
Yeah.
like I've
The
never
buzz.
felt like so nervous before a game.
Oh, dude.
Like if we could somehow recreate that, that would just be awesome. Like I've never, like I'm
Awesome?
not even playing in this game.
You wanna
and I feel
recreate
like I'm about to strap up and play. Like
dude, that whole morning I felt like throwing up. It's like,
I got up. We got up at
Oh.
5 a.m. We're taking shots. We had just gone from Harper.
for you.
Like we slept for like 3 hours. I'm on the field. Like dude, it's go time.
Good
and
for
it's just
you.
like we're there, dude, and just unreal.
I was
man.
up at 5, not to drink. I just couldn't sleep the night before. I was like, tomorrow's the biggest day of my life, and I'm not
Yeah.
even close to playing in this game.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I
One thing I've started to do before that game, whether it's like the day before, the night before, maybe the day off if it's a later game, is I watch that Divided We Stand documentary.
Ooh, that's strong.
And
That's strong. Yeah,
that gets
That's a
that
good
gets
one.
the juices flowing with that rivalry. I think that's a very well
But
done one.
I'm saying it right now, and I know obviously it's June 28th or whatever. But man, dude, this upcoming Michigan State game, I'm excited. I don't care what our records are.
It'll
but
be shenanigans. Yeah,
Obviously, there was the tunnel incident.
sure was.
There was them beating us, and
Oh yeah,
obviously, you know, there's still the talk from both sides.
not a great
Like,
time
you
last
put-
year. Yeah,
You put that together,
yeah.
people are hungry. They want to win so bad.
yeah.
I don't care what your record is. Like, it's going to be intense.
The rivalry's in a
at
great
Michigan
spot
State.
right now. Yeah. I know
Yeah.
that like a lot of people are saying like it's too toxic,
No,
and it
yeah,
is,
and-
but like it's also authentic. Like it
Right.
is where it should be.
Right.
Right.
Like you don't like us, you don't respect us, right back at you. I couldn't care less about any of you people over there. Like it is at a very, it's in an unhealthy place, but at the same time it's a very authentic place.
Yeah.
That's why I like where the rivalry.
People are
at
like,
right
yeah,
now.
no, the rivalry shouldn't go on. Like that.
Right.
That
Like, oh, it's
people-
getting dangerous. Like, okay, okay,
Bring it on.
that's great. All
Bring
right,
it on.
we'll settle it when we settle it.
Yeah.
Right.
Every year, bring it on. I can't wait for
Yeah.
basketball season. Bring on the rivalry. Then.
Now we're talking.
and I asked Izzo off air, like, what was his favorite year in Michigan State, and he's like, 2001, when we just beat the crap out of them.
Yo, was it the 114-63 game or something like that? It was like, I think it was the 2000 year. Yeah,
Yeah, he's like, I just miss those years. What he said.
dude,
he does
they
not. He
doubled
doesn't
their
care if it's
score.
close. He does not care. He wants it just to be that kind of just run over them.
I hope we get back to that this year.
I mean, it's looking that way.
I-
At least at home.
I hope
At least
so.
at home.
JT, ever emotional during a game or no? For good or for bad too, by the
Right,
way.
yeah.
Like, have you ever?
For me, it's more like certain games. Like I'll like tell myself like, you got to remember like how it feels right now because you'll be thinking
Yeah.
about this game for many years.
Yes, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
like, I don't think I've ever cried during a game. It's more of just like, oh, this is like special. You got to remember it. The two that come to mind, obviously the Eagles winning the Super Bowl in 2017.
That'll do it. Yeah.
And then
Okay.
Cassius Winston kissing the center court logo my junior year.
That was.
The last time he played
But
for
we
Michigan
didn't know.
State.
Obviously, we didn't know
Right.
that would be his last game.
for
as
sure.
as
Yeah.
Spartan.
But that was earlier that year. I believe his brother had
Yep.
passed away.
Yeah, that was really
The whole
emotional.
student body when I was there, it was just a different connection with Cassius than
dude, yeah.
And plus now I'm in a professional capacity, so I never kind of have like that kind of a rooting fan interest in anybody again. But Cassius was different.
He was different, man. Yeah, I mean, just the speech he made to the fan base before the game, like, that got me good.
Yeah.
I mean, he was already a fan favorite going into his senior year. Like,
Yeah.
he was so beloved by the fan base, and then, like, he goes through that tragedy, and, like, he just was still up in front of everything, and, you know, was always on camera, still played. I think he didn't miss a game either. It's like, wow, this kid is just
he
going
did
through
not.
it all in front of us here. I mean,
It seemed to impact him a little bit, but like,
Of course.
obviously he got through that, and
Yeah.
that's up to him.
So that was incredibly emotional, but
I don't think anyone can convince me that he wasn't going to lose that March. So somebody can lay out metrics, they can lay out good
Don't
arguments.
care.
I'm sure they're valid, but
Sure.
Especially with
nobody's
that team,
convincing me that they
with
weren't
that
going to
team
go
we had,
win every single
too,
game.
Like
Sorry.
with that team we had
Yeah.
that year too, like
Yeah, and they were rolling at the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
man, they had momentum.
No, they were the number 1 overall seed.
Momentum, dude.
It would have been fun.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Hey, 2019 was at least fun, though.
Yeah,
It
was.
was so much fun.
Yeah, that going for us.
But
Couch
we
is
have, we've
dead
had
burn.
all right. We've had so many fun years though in the past decade though.
Oh, dude.
Under D'Antonio and Izzo,
Yeah,
like
it's
man,
okay
just
being a state
match-
fan.
like,
Yeah, life is pretty good over
absolutely.
here.
Like,
yeah,
we could compare that to like any other team in the Big Ten.
Oh, dude.
Besides like maybe Ohio State.
around
or
the
something
country
like
too.
that.
Just like having two sports that strong, like more times than not,
Absolutely.
year after year.
Yeah.
Not competitive, but like at the upper end of competitiveness.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's
will
it's
say,
nice in East Lansing.
You talked about emotions before games, stuff like that. The one
Yeah.
thing I love about Izzo is he really embraces that. Like,
Dude,
Yeah.
like he is. There's tears in his eyes before every Michigan State game.
Oh, yeah,
before
man.
every big game.
He wears it on his sleeve, and that's why we love him.
And
Yep.
that, like he lives in the moment. That's the one thing I really admire about him.
He's authentic with a capital A.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
like he
yeah.
is who he is. Like,
He's living his dream, and like that's
Yeah.
why I feel like everyone should
Yeah.
do that. That's such a big thing about Izzo that nobody really appreciates, but
right?
that's him.
Yeah.
When you
There's
ask
gonna
him a
be
question, no matter what the question
Yeah.
is, he's going to give you a straight answer.
there's gonna be a lot of stuff about Izzo behind the scenes that people are gonna miss that they don't even know he does
Right.
out of the
100%,
university.
dude. 100%.
Such a charismatic dude too.
The best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on the show, Tom. Join us.
Yeah.
SD4L. It's always a great time.
Yeah.
Well, gang,
Is this it?
is it time to land this plane?
It is that time.
You always suck at this. But
Yeah.
I will never get better at this.
Yeah. But for the last time, signing off from the Woodward Sports Studios here in Birmingham, Michigan. Owen has done a fantastic job for us
You're the
all
best,
these
Owen.
past
Try.
several months.
Truly.
Obviously, make sure go follow Owen. He does great work for Big Ten Network. You're at Channel 4 this
Yeah,
summer, right?
WDIV and
Okay.
WJR. So.
Yeah, so doing producing work there, and obviously excited to see all that you do here in the coming years as you graduate this upcoming year.
Yeah. Hopefully, you know what? I hope it's the longest year ever.
Yeah.
I just
Stretch it out.
let's slow it down. Slow it down. If
Yep.
I got control time, slow it down.
Yep.
Maybe just see Matt at Mug Night one time. You know,
Let's call it 2 times, you know?
2 times.
you imagine me
chains.
rolling up to college from Mug Night and just like,
I'm not even kidding. You would fit right in.
like, who brought this
You look
old
young.
bag in?
Like I can't believe you look young. Like
I
you told me
appreciate
you were
it.
30 something. Like
The,
I
the
would not.
waitress
Matt,
at the restaurant ID'd me today, which, like, thank you, ma'am. That's very considerate of you, but you're also lying to yourself. Like, yeah, so that was very nice of her, but yeah.
Dude, you would fit in. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
If
kidding.
if you went into an East Lansing bar, there would be
Absolutely.
14 people that look older than you.
correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take
there,
it.
there are people.
Let's put it to the test.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay.
Let's put it to the test. All right, there we
Yeah.
go.
All right.
See y'all Central Michigan weekend. It'll be a movie. Let's get it popping.
Welcome
But yeah,
week.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, shout out Owen, follow Owen.
Yep, owns the best.
All the work that he's
Yep.
going to do in the fall this year in East Lansing and beyond. Make sure you stay tuned to him. And Owen, Matt and I are very appreciative for all the work you've
Absolutely.
done for us.
Yep.
Phenomenal job always. But yeah, I guess that does it for this week's episode of the SD4L show. Stay tuned to our Twitter. That's kind of where the next steps that we're sorting through right now, kind of putting the infrastructure together to go independent or kind of however the next steps unfold. So stay tuned. I don't think there's going to be a show next week. The week after that, uncertain. But either way, a full August coming, a full slate in August. Going to be doing a lot of season previews.
We will be back.
Yeah, so
We're back.
don't know the next steps timing-wise just yet, but stay tuned to that Twitter. That's where you're going to find out, nowhere else. And thanks for listening, and we'll see you back in the near future. Appreciate it.